believe we're live there, Jeffrey Lee.
And we are live. How about you, everybody? Welcome into about the 6th or 7th episode of the Auburn Live Recruiting Call-In Show. I got to turn that down. Okay, cool. All right. What was I saying? We're on the sixth or seventh episode of the Auburn Live Call-In Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. I'm joined tonight, as I always am, by two badasses of the industry, Mr. Cole Pinkston, Auburn Live Recruiting Analyst. How the hell you doing, Cole?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Yeah, well, not as good as Mr. Jhead. Look at him, all smiles up there. Boy, he's ready to go, son.
Never as good.
I'm ready for some calls. I know somebody's going to be, we're going to have a Paul Feinbaum moment tonight. Maybe Jeffrey will disappear into the Matrix again. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows? Will my shirt come off? I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know. I will say this. Now, I'm wearing my Yellowstone hat tonight. R.I.P. to Yellowstone, Gardner, Montana. I don't know if y'all were keeping up with it. I'm a big Yellowstone fan guy. Yeah, it's flooded out, man. The Yellowstone River is just demolishing the northwest entrance of the park. Thoughts to the city of Gardner, all those good people, man. I've been up there quite a few times. Love it up there. So I've got my Yellowstone hat on. So there you go.
Good for you.
Hey, listen, a lot going on this week. A lot going on the past week. We're going to talk all about it if you want to. We are going to tonight is all about the listener, though, man. We want you guys to dictate the show, the topics. We want to know what you want to know about. And we will talk about what we want to talk about on Thursday on the Shrimp of Freaking Pod. But until then, we're gonna get to some calls, some comments. I'm gonna make sure I tweet it out. That's what I was waiting on, man. Tweet out the link. Let everybody know we are live. Let's see, make sure it went out. Did I do it? You know what? How about you?
Oh, not bad.
Hibachi.
Hibachi was a big deal on the Plains this weekend. That was a fan favorite for one of our offensive line targets that was there. Or maybe it was
really?
Line target. Was it Josh Horton?
No, it was Josh Horton, yeah.
Yeah, that loved the hibachi.
All right. Yeah, man. How about you to Joshua Horton?
There you go.
How about you? Let's see. Okay, I got it tweeted out. We're looking good. Okay, JP jumping in here. JP doesn't waste time, folks. JP is all about business.
Yes,
all right, JP wants to know OT news with Ramel, Formby, Bo, and the new one we offered. We're going to have a call up, I presume, about the new guy who is Lance. Hell, I talked to him. Lance Jhead. Lance Hurd. That's what I said. Lance Hurd, former teammate of Anichi Sledge. Big old dude, man, from Monroe, Louisiana. Big old dude. I think he's a top 100 in the On3 consensus. Auburn offered him today. I talked to him. Keith talked to him. I think Keith already has up a story. Keith Niebuhr, newest member of Auburn Live team. The dude told me, yes, I'm coming to visit. He went and visited a buddy out in Nebraska. He's definitely going to come and visit his buddy Anichi Sledge. So Lance Hurd is definitely a guy who's going to visit. I don't know what Auburn's chances are, but they don't have any until he makes it on campus. So he's got a shot if he makes it on campus. Ramil, is that right, Cole? Ramil?
Yep, Ramil.
Ramil will be, according to sources, will be on Auburn's campus tomorrow, Wednesday, which will be a huge, huge day that he is coming for an unofficial visit, but Auburn will treat it as an official, assuming that he is going to use official visits. He's been to North Carolina, he's going to Tennessee, and he's been to Pitt, of all places.
Correct.
Yep.
So he's got 3 down. He's been to Auburn. I think he had it like 6 times in the past 7 months since last fall, and is going to come back again. He's been twice, I think, in the last 2 or 3 months. So getting him back on campus, and believing that he may not return for an official visit, so they're going to treat him like an official visitor on Wednesday. Big visit. Wilcom Formby told me about a month or 2 ago that he's no longer considering Auburn, or at least they've got a long way to go. Yeah. Don't expect Auburn to be a serious contender for him. So tomorrow we'll see what Stanton has to say. Alabama has yet to offer make a move on him. And I think somebody on the corner today posted something about that, and I kind of agreed with it. To me, Ramil is I like Auburn's chances unless Alabama wants him.
Right.
And I mean, that's just how it is. His dad played there. I know his granddad played here at Auburn back in the 60s, was actually the quarterback. But the Alabama ties, Thompson High School, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I do feel like if he's not a priority for Alabama, it will be Auburn. Or at least Auburn will have a good shot with him. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. D. Williams, how about you, big dog? Corey. All right, Corey Weber wants to jump in here, man. Any movement on Ashley Williams? Yes, Corey, you know what? I talked to him this morning, as a matter of fact, and I'm sorry that, it's been busy today, but I did talk to Ashley Williams, the edge from Louisiana, and it didn't sound too good. He was nice. He was polite. He said the right things, but it didn't sound like Auburn was much of a factor for him. If I'm not mistaken, he said he might visit in the fall. But I really, if he does, it'll be a long shot. What you got, Zach?
We got one caller here. 601, you're live.
What's up, 601? Is that Mississippi?
Yeah, hang on. I can't even hear him. 1 second.
Zach, you got one job, big dog.
I know, man. 601,
Hello?
can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Got you.
Yeah, what's up, Mississippi?
You're live, brother.
What's up, guys? I'm from Waynesboro, Mississippi, home
Jarrell.
of Steve Gandy.
Yes, sir.
Jarrell Poe.
Oh, Jarrell Poe.
I was really just calling to ask two-part question, really both for Cole. On the board the other day, you said that you were somewhat worried about the recruiting process, or you had some concerns. And then also the development of Cam Stutz in the offseason. Do you really think that he could be somebody that starts right away during the season, or do you feel like that will happen later on as the season progresses?
Yeah, man. I don't really have concerns with the recruiting strategy, more so just with the fact that they're struggling to get commitments right now. Like everybody is kind of feeling that way. But that's just the way it is. It's going slow with the summer right now, but they are getting visitors on campus, and that is number one priority when you're trying to sell your product. Of course, that happens when you get on the field, you get to show it. So I'm a little concerned at the moment, but I think, with the product being sold on the field, it gets better, which is what we've been saying. And then on your second part there, Cam Stutz, I think if he doesn't start in the first game, I think 2 or 3 games in, that's my prediction. I think he starts at left guard. He could be the first game, but I think it'll take a couple games personally.
There you have it, Wayne County.
Wayne County.
Waynesville, Wayne County.
Waynesboro, right?
Is it Waynesboro?
It's Waynesboro.
Damn it, that's what I said, wasn't it? Let's see. We got C-Web. Philip Coleman wants to know, do we lose any steam on Jaden Osbury? Jaden Osbury, the 4-star linebacker from New Orleans, Louisiana, home to his older brother, former teammate. Austin Osbury, now freshman defensive back. Jaden Osbury took an official visit to Notre Dame. I think some people on 24/7 started putting in some crystal balls for Notre Dame. I was told from my source down here that pump the brakes on that. He's not. I mean, if he does go to Notre Dame, they don't expect it to happen anytime soon. I don't think. Of course, a kid goes to another visit, gets blown away, you're going to lose some steam. So I think that's pretty accurate.
Well, Jeffrey, I would say I don't think Auburn's lost any steam with him. Rather that Notre Dame just gained some with the visit, right?
I think that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, and if they had, I don't think they've taken over or anything like that. I think it's been pretty even with Auburn, Notre Dame, and LSU for a while. And the reason we like Auburn is because his brother's there and his family loves it, and that's always a huge plus. And he keeps coming back. So that's my thought on it.
And I think he'll continue to come back. I mean, I think it's a situation where he's going to visit multiple times in the fall, probably to watch his brother play.
Yeah.
Look, their head coach is a young, aggressive recruiter that's done a fantastic job. And I do think that Notre Dame is the other big player in Jaden Osbury's recruitment. More so, I think they're more of a factor than LSU at this point. So it is something to be cautious of or be aware of. But I don't foresee, I believe he's going to be a December commitment. He's on board as saying that. We're on record as saying that with On3 and 24/7 both reporting that. So whether he's trending to Notre Dame at this point right now or not is kind of irrelevant to me. It's how does it all end up in the wash? And Jeffrey was right. If we play well this season and make some noise, I like our chances.
The only way I think Jhead Nosbury doesn't end up at Auburn is if Auburn tanks the season. And talking to my dude, that was kind of the vibe he was giving, is that he wants to wait and see how Auburn does. Understandably so, man. And Cole talked about it earlier. The frustration with not getting commitments is a lot of these kids just want to take their time and make sure these guys are going to be here because they're getting told a lot of different things from a lot of different other schools negatively. So a lot of these kids want to see how the season starts. Some of them will go ahead and jump in. I commend the kids, but at the same time, commitment doesn't mean shit these days anyways. It just means Auburn's my leader if he's committing.
Yeah.
What you got, Zach?
Got another 601 number here.
Mississippi on fire tonight. Mississippi burning.
You're live.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome. I called in earlier. I don't know if I got broken up, but I'm Sam 11 on the boards from Waynesboro, Mississippi, on with Steve Gandy. And I was just wondering, two-part question for Cole about Cam Stutz possibly starting at left guard for this season. Then you also had a thread on the board that said you were somewhat concerned about recruiting in certain aspects, but you kind of didn't really allude to what you meant. I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that.
Dude, am I in the Matrix right now?
Yes.
I'll see you. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Sam.
Sam, I think you dropped out. I gave an answer on that. I'll tell you again. It's not the recruiting strategy that I'm concerned about. It's just the fact that everyone's concerned about with commitments not coming in right now, and getting rave reviews, just not commitments, and that's just something that they need to do before the season starts, just to get some momentum going. And I think they will. Just it's still concerning at the same time. That's kind of what I meant. And as far as Cam Stutz, I think he could be the starter, 2 or 3 games into the season, maybe at the beginning, but I think he's the left guard this year. That's my main thing there.
There you go, Wayne County.
Again.
Sam, we appreciate you, Sam. Good stuff, man. Do want to Patrick Perry. OPP wants to know why do they keep moving Jeremiah Wright between defensive line and offensive line? Probably, simple question is they think he can help better on the other side. Cole, Ben Kiley wants to know any more info on J.C. Hart. His film looked like he floated around everywhere, would be a cornerback target if he got the offer. Great 40, 4.2 GPA, good size. Sounds like an intriguing low-key prospect.
Yes, he is a very intriguing prospect, and I think he's about to really see his recruitment rise.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Missouri has actually gone public with the offer. I think Tennessee's on him. I even heard that maybe USC was looking at him. A couple other big schools. Auburn is also going to look at him really closely if they haven't started that already. An offer, I think it will probably come. I don't know for sure yet. He seems to be the right kind of fit, like what they like at corner, a taller guy, lengthy, speedy, so I just would not be surprised at all to see him get an offer. Yeah, and he's definitely low key, but that's not going to last too much longer.
No.
Low key for the older folks means what, Cole?
Yeah, that means he is not well known.
There you go. Okay, underrated. Yeah, back in the day.
Under the radar.
Under the radar. Lesser known. He's low key, son.
Low key.
I love it. All right, let's keep this party started. Cam, I think Cam's up. So yeah, there we go. Zach, since the news of Jaleel Hurley, the 5-star cornerback from Florence, who's committed to Alabama, the news of his broke, do we still go after him, or do we just move on to other guys we can get? Absolutely continue to go after him. That Auburn will go after him until he signs it on the dotted line with Alabama. Let's see, Trey Mack. Were you guys surprised we didn't make the Final Four for Peter Woods? Absolutely not. Jhead, what do you think about this? Were you shocked?
Absolutely not. No question about it. I never thought we had a shot with Peter Woods to start with. So, no surprise.
Peter Woods, I think he had Alabama, Florida, Ohio State, Clemson. Hell, I don't know. I don't really care.
Yeah,
no, I don't either.
Yeah, Jackson State.
Yeah. Good old Dion.
Yeah. Hey, throw us a bone, man. Dion was like, "Hey, throw us a bone." I really don't see him ending up there. I think I've said from the beginning, if Alabama wants the kid, he's going to go there. I would be absolutely floored if Peter Woods ended up anywhere but Alabama. Zach, do we have somebody?
Yeah, 256.
Hello?
You're live.
Hey, what's up? We got
What's
you.
going on, y'all?
What's up, buddy?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Hello?
Hey, man, what's going on? 256. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
No, dude.
I'm Kelsey calling from Piedmont, Alabama.
What's up, Kelsey?
Piedmont.
And I was wanting to know what's the chances of us really landing Jhead and
Sorry to mention.
Jhead and Josh Horton in this class.
Okay.
Like the chances with Josh Horton. Still like the chances a lot. Wrote about him today at Auburn Live.
Hello?
Can you hear us, Kelsey?
Kelsey, you there?
It's okay.
Kelsey up on the mountain, son.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's all good. You guys can answer. He dropped.
Okay. Yeah. Still feel pretty good after this official visit from Josh Horton. UCF is going to be a factor too. Wrote that today about him. We've been talking about that. Still think Auburn's in a good spot. What do y'all think about Jamal Jarrett? I'm curious.
Top two right now, in my honest opinion. I still think that Georgia is the leader as of today. However, if he continues to visit like he's planning to as of now, that's something we can overcome with a good season. But look, if I'm making a decision today where he's going to land, like if signing day is tomorrow, I'm going to still say UGA as of now. But that doesn't mean that can't change. We're very much in this recruitment. And as long as we continue to get him on campus and get him to continue to visit, and we show that upward trajectory like we talked about, I like our chances.
Yeah. I will agree with that.
Oh, Ethan Nation or Avery Stewart doing OVs? I'm not sold on Ethan Nation. I really haven't heard much from him lately. Avery Stewart, who I think just went to Penn State, maybe, or somewhere.
Yes. I believe he's going to be visiting Florida State here soon, I think.
I think Ethan Nation is probably a down the board guy, maybe not too far down, but I haven't heard a lot of buzz about him from over this way. Avery Stewart, he's kind of been up and down. Not really sure what to make of him.
Me neither. I really don't know either.
Either one. And the thing is that these official visits tell us a lot of Auburn's interest.
Yes.
And so far, neither of those two guys. I don't know that Auburn's pushing for them to set up OVs, but I think that's something we'll keep an eye on. I will do some checking on both of those guys. Man, I probably need to know a little bit more about both. Is that what you got, Big Dog?
Got another caller here.
Wayne County.
You're live.
205, Central Alabama. What's up, 205? What's your name and where are you from? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's speaking that Martian.
Yeah, no kidding.
that might be Luke from last week.
I'm telling you, I think he's got one of those voice boxes, man.
Probably.
Lay off them Marlboro Reds, Big Dog.
Yeah, man.
Let's cut that dude. We'll get him back on here later.
There you go.
What's up, Blake Robinson? How about you, Big Dog? Let's see. W. Tidwell, 51, says, are y'all still predicting 8 to 10 in the class? 8 to 10 in the class before the season starts.
So commitments 8 to 10. I think so. Yes. I feel comfortable saying 8. That's where I'm at with it.
I think I was at 6 to 7 or something like that. What is Auburn got? 2 now? I would expect 2 or 3 more at the end before August. That's 5 to 6. And that's, I'm trying to be conservative here.
Sure.
5 to 6. So I would say maybe 7 to 8, not 8 to 10.
Okay.
I'm 5 to 7 is
Gotcha.
my number. Yep.
And we have, I think it's 8 known decisions that are going to be made between now and then. I would probably give us a very good chance in 5 of those as of today.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I like it. That's around 7. I think bring it down a little bit, Tidwell. Bring it a little bit down, maybe 6 to 8. Cole said 5 to 7. I somewhere around the 6 to 7. I think we all agree
Yep,
It's pretty conservative.
Seems to be the sweet spot.
Now here's just another low key big dog.
Darlene.
Oh man, I can't find it. Who is this? I can't see it. I got the thing muted.
Darlene
Emmanuel. Yeah. Darlene wants to know any Auburn recruiting any recruits from Georgia that are low key. Not to my knowledge. Like not at least off the top of my head.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Shit, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's tough to be a low key recruit in Georgia these days.
I know, man. They got so many.
But
at the same time, who's underneath those guys that's about to have a breakout senior season? That's the thing. The question about guys that are under wraps, you just really don't know until they get back on the field. In
our recruiting chat last night on the corner, we had a guy. I think it was Bobby Sweatpants, who was a great poster. I love Bobby Sweatpants. But he asked, about backups, for Jelani Thurman or backups for Jeremiah Cobb, the running back, the tight end. And I'm going, and Keith and I both were like, you know what? I don't. But that's when you start getting some of the. You miss out on guys like that, and then because Auburn's all their eggs are in this basket. I mean, not all of them, but these are the guys that they're focused on right now that they're pushing for. I'm sure they've got some noise going on in the back, and they're keeping these guys warm back here. We just don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But nobody on the offer list. I went and looked at no tight end on the offer list, no running back on the offer list is a guy that I would say, you know what, if Auburn misses out on so and so, they're going to be looking to this guy. I couldn't find anybody on either one of those positions that I felt comfortable saying, he's the backup.
Right.
I think it's guys without offers right now that Auburn's waiting to see what happens, and there's plenty of time.
That makes it very interesting with guys like Jelani Thurman and Jeremiah Cobb. In the case of disaster, you miss on both of those guys. I mean, in other words, they are really pushing for those two. You'd have to think they are not going to let them slip away, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're trying to ensure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, John Addison. Oh, John Addy. Notice Quay Russell, 5-star Quay Russell, 5-star edge, 5-star defensive lineman James Smith, both from Carver, Montgomery, are scheduled to visit Auburn for the 5th time at the end of June. I think June 24th. Yes, June 24th. Would be huge. Yes, obviously, yes. Where do we think we stand with these two? Jhead, what do you think?
So, and I've said this from the very beginning, I like our situation with Quay Russell a lot better than I do with James Smith. Here's the thing, and this is what I don't know. If Jamal Jarrett lands at UGA, what does that do to James Smith and his recruitment? Does UGA continue to push there? Does he become more available? So there's some moving pieces on the board. Georgia's not going to be able to take all those guys, and I would say that they are the perceived favorite as of today for James Smith. So there's some variables there that can make some changes. Right now, I don't love our position. I think we're squarely within both of those players' top 5, with room to move up if this OV goes well, if the season goes well. Neither of these two are going to be making early verbal commitments. That's a situation that's not going to happen. These are both guys who are going to decide late. So there's a chance. I don't love our chances as of today, but ask me again come November, and I'll be able to tell you a lot better.
I concur. Sounds good to me.
Yep.
By the way, Sam, you good, dude. I appreciate it, man. We appreciate the call, Wayne County. And I'm okay with you saying home to Steve Gandy, although Jarrell Poe holds more weight with me. Oh, all right, Darlene.
How could he not, Jeffrey? How could he not?
I tweeted at him because, man, that was like my first guy, like my first buddy on the job. It was my first year of covering recruiting. Anybody that doesn't know the Jarrell Poe story, now you'll have to ask me when we got more time. Ask me next month when it's a dead period. Oh,
Right.
All right. Who we got? Blake Robinson. Blake R. Blaker. Who do you gentlemen? I don't know who he's talking about here. Must be Jhead. Think is next to officially commit Brock Glenn or Carmelo English. Well, as it stands, Brock Glenn is expected to or planning to announce his decision before June 28th, which is the start of the Elite 11 finals. Carmelo English announced last week that he's going to announce his commitment July the 2nd. So, Brock's is the first opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think right now, God, man, I say both Auburn for both of those guys, but geez, Louise, that Carmelo English curveball. Why would he? It's tough, man. That threw me off. Like even if he had come home from Kentucky and said, "Hey, July the 2nd," I would have said, "Okay."
Yeah.
But it was odd that he announced that while he was in the first 5 to 6 hours of being in Lexington. He announced this. So, and I've been told by somebody who knows more. Either he got there and was like, "Shit, dude, this is me right here. I'm in 5 hours," or was like, "This is all I needed to see now. I know I'm going."
Right.
So
talking about some fireworks before the 4th of July. Those two getting in the class would be some fireworks, right?
Definitely.
Oh yeah,
definite momentum for sure.
Zach, you got one for us?
Yep. 334. You're live.
334. Oh, the Martian back. Come here, people think holding hands with a man.
What they saying? My hands look like man hands. I don't want to be on there.
We got you 334.
Oh yeah, got me in. Oh
yeah, man. Come on in. You talking my area code. Go ahead.
Same.
What is your name? Ezekiel.
Tony.
All right, let's see. Let's move on. We'll move on, big dog. Was that Kelsey from Piedmont? No, it was not. He was a 205 guy.
That's right.
Who do you guys feel are the top NFL draft prospects from Auburn next season? Trey Mack wants to know. I'll let you guys hit these.
Derek Hall, without question, has got to be number one in my book, followed probably by Owen Papo. I think athletically he's going to test off the charts. And if he has a productive season, that's going to probably drive up his draft grade. Beyond them, you're probably talking about a guy.
Eku Leota.
Maybe.
Something's wrong with my internet.
I'm not exactly sure on Eku, like how he's going to test out. And he's such a relentless player that I think that his production is going to be good. But when he gets to a combine, how's he going to actually produce? I think that dinosaur is going to get a high draft grade. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'll say.
What about
Tank Bigsby as well?
Tank Bigsby's probably on the offensive side the guy. I don't know that we have anybody else that's probably going to be drafted that's on the offensive side as of today.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not predicting he gets drafted, but just looking at him, Killian Zaire is a guy that fits in the NFL offensive tackle mold.
Oh, 100%.
So he's probably gonna be the left tackle this year, and if he has a big year, maybe he's the guy.
For me, I just got to see it. Just got to see it with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really proof of concept. And then one other player I think that's got some draftability to him that I'm watching that I'm hoping is going to have a big year is going to be Nehemiah Pritchett. I think he's got all the measurables, the speed. Does he put it all together on the field this year? But I think he's a guy whose draft stock could definitely jump.
Totally agree.
Another question. W. Tidwell. Does the Jackson kid, T-Bell's cousin, Jakeem Jackson, 4-star cornerback from Osceola, Kissimmee, right? Kissimmee, yeah. Does he play the boundary corner or the field corner? Hell, I don't even know what the difference is. One's the wide side, right? One's the wide side and one is the short side.
Yeah.
There you go.
One of them's better for speed out in the open field, and one is better for physicality, bump and run kind of coverage, right?
I think he could play either side. I don't see really a weakness there as far as that goes. And it's hard to tell. It's not like you're getting that 22 look where you can kind of see where everybody's lined up on the field and on his highlights. So it's hard for me to tell you sometimes without going into much greater detail watching his clips, whether he's lining up boundary or field. But judging by what I've heard, speed is not going to be an issue. And you definitely can see from his highlights, physicality is not going to be an issue either.
Well, you know what, Jhead?
Go ahead.
Before he came in this weekend, I would have said he was a field guy. Yeah, I hear you, Jeff. You hear us?
Yeah, it's got to be mine because it's loading over here. It's, the pinwheel.
Oh yeah.
And both of y'all are. It's me, so I don't know what's going on. It started on YouTube, but anyways, as long as I'm good, sound good to you guys, I'm fine.
Yeah, we got you.
Sound perfect, man.
Okay.
Anyway, I would have said before. Just a field guy, but since he measured this weekend at Auburn is like 6'2",
Yes.
180 pounds. He could play that boundary too. So very, very versatile prospect that Auburn is just starting to fall in love with, I think.
As they should. I mean, he's got it all. And look, I went and looked at J.C. Hart's clips as well.
Yeah.
And while he's significantly more raw than Jakeem,
definitely,
just he's got so many traits that they want out of a cornerback.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I see if he doesn't get an offer within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be really surprised. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Who were you talking about, Jhead? I'm sorry.
J.C. Hart.
Oh, okay. All right, Cam. If you all had to pick, where are you from, Cam? You north of the thing. You north of the line, ain't you, buddy? If y'all had to pick a surprise commitment right now, who would it be? Surprise commitment.
Well, I said it the other day. Even though he's kind of said that he wanted to wait for a while, I just don't know where he's at. Is DJ Chester? That could be one that could happen sooner than we think. He had a great visit at Auburn this weekend. Clemson and LSU, probably other schools, Florida State. So he could make a decision anytime. It just kind of seems like he's all over the place. He says he wants to see those schools, but he has no other visits scheduled right now either. So, interesting guy there. That might be my pick.
If we're going, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jhead. No. Go ahead.
If we're going timing, I'd say Bo Hughley.
Me too.
Me too. If you're talking like right now, it would be Bo. I think he could flip much later, but if he did it right now, I mean, you're talking about a statement flip.
Yep, that was exactly who I was thinking of. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take it to December. So if he were to do it right now, and I wouldn't be, I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked. I would be surprised if he went ahead and did it.
Yeah,
I would be surprised if he didn't end up signing with Auburn. But I would a surprise commit. We know pretty much where other guys are thinking about announcing, so he's kind of left it up in the air. I would say Bo Hughley.
I agree, Jeffrey.
I'll throw in just one more. To me, it would be kind of surprising if J.C. Hart got the offer. How long would he wait? Do you think he's an Auburn lean? I don't know. That could be something to watch too. Depends on how his recruitment takes off. But in other words, what we're saying is we're watching J.C. Hart pretty close right now.
Yeah.
Appreciate your question, Cam. Brooks. He was just running around here with the dinosaur hat on. But this must be another one. I saw the article on Hurley being 100% committed to Bama. Do you think he's still a sleeper, or do you take him for his word? No, I don't take any recruit for his word. I think he is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's doing exactly what Auburn would want him to do. And I'm not saying Auburn's going to flip the kid. I'm just saying if Auburn has a chance to flip the kid, this is exactly what you want him saying in public right now.
Yeah, I'd agree.
If I'm Auburn, I want you to go, I'm 100% locked into Alabama. I'm not looking at any other schools. I am locked in. And we'll continue to do our work behind the scenes.
And I think he's being honest about this. I think he is committed to Bama right now. I don't think he's trying to change that right now, but Auburn's not going to stop. They're not going to stop. They like him. They really like him. So that's what we're saying. And they stayed on a lot of guys at the end of the year last year, and he's going to be one of those guys they'll stay with too. So we'll see what happens. Jeffrey, you still with us? He's frozen up.
Do y'all still think that Celia Kana will plan an OV here this summer? Is there any real interest? Ooh, Cole, you want to take that?
Yeah. Well, look, he told me in person that he was thinking about taking an official visit to Auburn. Well, he didn't say he was thinking about it. He said he probably was. So I don't know. He's kind of again, like what Jeffrey said just a minute ago, you always take their word. You have to be careful with that. But he's got so many schools coming at him right now. I think he thoroughly enjoyed his time at Auburn. Will he OV? We'll find out. If he does, then yeah, I think that Auburn's got a shot because he seemed to really like it when he was there, right?
Very legitimate shot, I think, to get an OV. Is it going to happen this summer? I'm not hearing that as of now, though they're definitely holding surprises for that last weekend in June. maybe it's a situation potentially where he could come back and officially visit for Big Cat Weekend. Really I'm not sure yet if they're planning on having OVs that weekend or they're just going to try to have unofficials. Not exactly sure. I think probably the greater likelihood is that we get him in for a game, and that may be even to our benefit so that he can experience Jordan Hare, you know what I mean, when it's at its absolutely most electric and exciting.
He said he was coming back for a game. He seemed pretty legitimate about that. So,
and that's what I thought I remember sticking out with your conversation with him, Cole, is that he was coming back for a game, which made me tend to think OV for a game in the fall.
So we got a little breaking news here.
Okay.
As we are live, offensive line target Clay Whedon has committed to Michigan State.
Not a surprise.
Not a huge surprise, no, because man, you know, I think Auburn likes him. I think he and Will Friend get along really well. But it always kind of felt like they were slow playing him a little bit, didn't it, Jhead?
Well, and that was something that you picked up on that I didn't. And you just talked about you can't always take a recruit at their word, right? Like you have to check into the background. How does the team feel about him? What are the other factors that are in play? And with him, it just feels like there were multiple other interior guys, Rockwest McElderry, DJ Chester, Connor Liu, to name a couple off the top of my head, that they had seemed to prioritize more than Clay to this point. I mean, like you said, I think they like him. I think he's a fit for the scheme, but there are just some other guys that they like a little bit more than Clay. And I'm not trying to bash the kid. It's quite obvious that his ranking took a hit, and I think it's largely because he doesn't have that flexibility to play tackle and guard. He's purely a guard. And you're seeing other guys that are kind of rising up. So I really like where we stand with our interior board prospects.
Yeah.
I don't think this necessarily hurts us just because of where he's still on the board right now.
Right. And, you know, just to add on Clay, I think Auburn likes him. I don't think they were telling him no. I think they were just, you know, going to hold out and see what happened with the whole class and how it went and you know, probably go for him later on. But
Sure.
Clay always mentioned Michigan State whenever we talked to him too. So it's not a huge surprise. I mean, Michigan State's offensive line coach, can't think of his name right now. I got kind of
Chris Kaplovich.
Kaplovich. Yeah, man. He's made a big influence on a lot of guys around the South, believe it or not. Stanton Ramil mentions him a lot. So, again, not a huge surprise, but that's some news that just happened. So they'll keep on going there with the interior with some other guys, and that might be why DJ Chester's name sort of popped up here more recently. So, anyway, Austin WDE2. Do you think Anichi Sledge, that just signed with Auburn, defensive lineman from Louisiana, will outperform his star rating from high school while playing for Auburn? What do you think, Jhead?
100%. I mean, to me, he is probably the least talked about player in this class that needs to be talked about more. I heard you this morning when you said Damari Alston, and I think you're right. But to me, when I see Sledge and I see the impact that he could have as that pure nose guard, he is just an absolute fit for what we want to do on the defensive side of the ball. And his skill set meshes so well with the scheme that I think you're going to see him 100% outplay his star ranking with what we want to do with him defensively.
Hey, there he is.
Dude, Wow's going to get some bleeps tomorrow, some beeps. I'm going to get on somebody's ass at Wow. You coming? I'm coming for you, big dog.
You paid your bill, right?
I'm on my personal hotspot is faster than my freaking internet, man.
Did you get sucked into the Matrix this time?
Wasn't it? Who was it? Oh, Sam. Sam pulled me into the Matrix, man.
Yeah.
We did get a bad storm. Well, anyways, we'll roll with it here, man. Brent Hansen has some famous brothers, I believe.
Yeah. The Hansen.
Cool. I was making sure. Yeah, there you go. Suppose we land Brock Glenn. All right. I suppose that. Is he the kind of guy that could get in the ear of other big-time recruits to come play with him? Seems like Alpha QBs pull elite classes. Jhead, you look like you're itching to say something.
I 100% think that that's his intention, is to recruit for whatever school he plans to commit to here relatively soon, and he plans to start at the Elite 11 and to continue that on. I think he's planning on competing in the Nike opening and multiple other combine/camp situations. Beyond that, he's in the Memphis area. And if he commits to Auburn, that's an easy drive to Auburn for multiple game day weekends. He obviously has the family ties, so it's not going to be an issue getting a ride. I 100% would expect him, if he commits to Auburn, Ohio State, or Florida State, probably to be an active recruiter and somebody that could definitely get other kids to join him in the class.
I think so too. You start at the top. Hey, before we go any further, man, we're about the halfway point. I want to remind everybody, Auburn Live on 3. We're trying our best, man, to be the best we can. And right now is a great opportunity for you to take advantage. If you haven't already, you can ask some guys in the comments, man. We're definitely going to give you more than $1 worth, but that's all we're asking right now. Big special going on, $1 for an entire year at Auburn Live on 3. Go give us a try. Hell, it's $1, 4 quarters. What else we got there? There you go, Zach. Sign up, big dog. Let's go. $1. Trey Mack coming in, another one. Will we go after the 4-star who decommitted from Clemson today? Hey, before we go any farther is length. I mean, distance. Further is I learned that. Clay Whedon.
Yep.
And I just sent him a text. He just committed to Michigan State.
Yeah.
Clay Whedon, the 3-star lineman from, I think he might even be a 4-star on 3 from Tampa area, committed to Michigan State. He went on a visit this past weekend. He's supposed to come to Auburn the 24th, but as we've been saying for weeks now on the Shrivel Pod on this show, Clay Whedon was a down-the-board kind of guy for Auburn, so good for Clay, man. He's an awesome dude, and wish him luck. I'll be pulling for him, man. He's an awesome dude. Zach, what you got, big dog?
Looks like we got Keith on the phone here.
Keith
from Florida?
Florida man.
Yep. 813, you're live.
Oh, no, Keith's got a 900 number.
It says Keith Niebuhr.
Keith, you're on the horn with the Auburn Live call-in show. Yeah, man, that's a fantastic question.
Yep. I don't know what is going on with the call system today.
Just keep bringing them into the chat, Zach.
Yeah. 813, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. What's going on?
Oh, Florida man.
Yeah, Florida man's here. What's up, brother?
Hey, did you just, we were just talking, did you see Clay Whedon committed to Michigan State?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's on the one hand, like you said, it's not a huge surprise. I mean, he was going to visit Auburn, but I had somebody, I think you guys probably did too. Somebody told me, gosh, maybe a month ago, if Auburn had pushed for him, that he would have already been on board. And that's not to diminish him or demean him or Michigan State, which, by the way, is recruiting at like a new level with Mel Tucker. Yeah. But it is a fact that they felt like that they just kind of had other guys hiring him. And again, I'm trying not to step on y'all's toes. You just said the same thing, but I was working somewhere else at the time, and we were hearing the same thing. So that's always good to know. But and maybe things change if Auburn turned up the heat. But he's a great young guy, great interview. I'm happy for him, and I think he's going to an up and coming program.
Absolutely. Hey, you think about getting an offensive lineman from the Big Ten, which is what he'll essentially be. Well, he will be in a year. And I loved him. I think we both thought the world of him. He's an awesome dude. By the way, everybody listening, this is Keith Niebuhr, the GOAT of Auburn recruiting, joining us tonight. Keith, what about somebody had asked earlier about the Lance Hurd from Monroe, Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it used to be that if somebody called you a GOAT, you were a complete schmuck, right?
That's what I'm.
You're the greatest of all time. I don't.
You thought I meant that?
I'm certainly not the greatest of all time, and I'd like to think I'm not a total douche either. But who knows, right?
It's debatable.
Yeah.
He low key.
So Lance Hurd is his name. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to interrupt. So Lance Hurd, 4-star offensive tackle from Neville High School in Monroe, Louisiana. Number 3 tackle in the country. Number 16 recruit in the country for On 3. Other sites, the other recruiting sites don't have him quite as high, but that's pretty significant. Auburn offered him, and I got a hold of him, and he said, "Hey man, we knew he went to high school with is it pronounced Enos Sledge? I always get his first name butchered. I've heard it different ways, but Mr. Sledge, the freshman defensive tackle at Auburn, they're the high school teammates, or they were high school teammates. And he said, I talk to that guy every day, and all he does is pump up Auburn. So now Auburn's offered, he wants to visit. He wants to get on campus. And even though the recruiting prediction machine has him pretty heavily to LSU, he hasn't visited there yet. He's officially visited Nebraska. And it looks like Auburn may get an official. Now, when? Who knows? He didn't seem like he was in any hurry to either pick his 4 remaining officials or to pick a school. But, get him on campus, see what happens. But boy, Sledge is out there recruiting for Auburn left and right, it seems like.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is.
Now, Keith, let me ask you a question. Is this a situation where they're kind of feeling this prospect out to a degree because he was perceived to probably be trending towards LSU, and they just kind of wanted to see if there was significant interest? How did we kind of come across this, or is this just purely because of Aniche Sledge?
Well, I would only be speculating because I haven't talked to anybody, with knowledge of that side of the recruitment. But I think it seems like that would be the case. Like, it doesn't seem like they're a staff that's just throwing out offers, right? Like, they want to make sure people are interested. Now, sometimes it's a no-brainer. Yeah, you got to offer the number one QB, like whatever, Arch Manning or whoever. But it does seem like they're pretty, I want to say judicious, but I think selective may be the word I'm looking for with their offers. So, yeah, I agree. I think you're onto something. My guess is that, they were talking that Sledge probably said, hey, look, mate, I talked up Auburn. He may be a little interested. If you guys are interested, because normally, Louisiana, and I know Auburn started to get some guys from Louisiana, but it's, for offensive linemen, they'd already really focused on guys in Georgia and Alabama and a few other states. So I think they were probably just being selective and wanted to make sure that he was open-minded to it. And we'll see. Now, that doesn't mean he ain't going to LSU or whatnot. But, again, I mean, all you can do is get a kid on visit and see what happens. And, again, adding Ike Hilliard to Louisiana, to the staff, a Louisiana native that played at a non-Louisiana school. You got Trevon Reed, same thing. You've got some juice out in Louisiana now. And you've got Sledge that you played with them. So, yeah, it makes sense. I know it's a long-winded answer. I agree with what I think you're saying. It's that's probably the case, that they felt like, let's take our time on this and see what happens. And, yeah, he's showing a little interest, and let's offer him now and see what happens from there, Feels like it.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Anything else for me?
Jhead? I think Jeffrey might be frozen again.
Any good stuff?
Great stuff. Let's see. What are you thinking with J.C. Hart, Keith? Is that somebody that you think we're going to pull the trigger on here relatively quickly, or do you think? Wait
a second. I didn't hear you. Hart?
Yes, J.C. Hart. Me and Cole both seem to be hearing that maybe here relatively quickly there could be an offer extended by Auburn. Just kind of wondering what you in.
Yeah, I think I'm a little behind on that one, but yeah, I've heard the same thing. I know it's been reported by Jeff or Cole. I can't remember which one, and maybe elsewhere as well. But yeah, I talked to somebody the other day, and they felt the same thing. They said he was really impressive at camp. Now I was not there; these guys were, but yeah, I'm kind of hearing the same thing. We all talk to various sources, and you hope to be able to connect the dots, but sometimes you don't hear what they're hearing. But I did hear that they were pretty strongly interested. And by the way, I think when you look at Auburn's recent history, and I'm hogging your show time here, so I'll get off in a minute, but Nehemiah Pritchett, Roger McCreary, Jalen Simpson, even Jeff and I talked about this on another show. Under the radar DBs, Daniel Thomas. That seems to be Auburn's MO in recent years, and they've done a hell of a job there. And maybe this is another one of those guys. I mean, some of the teams that Auburn's recruiting against, the Alabama's, Georgia's, they're recruiting nationally. They try to do the best they can, keeping an eye on the in-state kids, but it's hard. I mean, they're kind of out there cherry picking from California and New Jersey and all these other places. And sometimes that gives you a chance to really find some true diamonds in the rough. And, again, Nehemiah Pritchett is the first one that comes to mind with me. And, Auburn was even in on Cordell Flott pretty early, I think, at one time.
Yeah, they were.
So they've really done a great job, and I do think an offer's coming.
Yep. I agree. And of course, it started with Greg Brown, the evaluations that he made moving into Wesley McGriff. And obviously, Zach has done a fantastic job with the DB room. But I agree with you. I see a lot of Roger McCreary with J.C. Hart. Obviously, size is a little bit different because J.C.'s 6'2", about 185.
Yeah.
Roger was a lot closer to 5'11", but both play multiple positions. Both had very smooth hips, not afraid to tackle, could make plays on the ball in the air. So I really like that comparison, and you're right. And when you're competing against guys that are recruiting nationally, you have to hit on a couple of evaluations. You don't want your whole class to be that. You have to make sure that you get those blue chip players just like everybody else. But if you can find or evaluate some guys that outplay their ranking, I think that's where Auburn is right now as an ascending program.
Yeah, you're going to get some of those guys. I'm with you, Keith, too. It has that Nehemiah Pritchett feel to it. Came to camp, showed out, wasn't too long after he got the offer, and then in the class soon after that.
Well,
so.
you know what's going to happen next is, if Auburn does offer, then you're going to see teams out west who are dying for corners. You're going to see other programs come in if they haven't already, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're going to go off of Auburn's. They're going to look at Auburn's staff and say, these guys historically have been pretty damn good at finding across staffs. I mean, from you're right, Greg Brown, actually even before that, Harbison, all the way through to now. Before that even. But so when Auburn offers a guy, a lot of times you'll see other schools follow right afterwards. So who are some of the schools that could use DBs? Well, USC, Southern Cal could use some guys. Texas could use some guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn offers, we see some of those big boys come in afterwards, knowing Auburn's reputation has been so strong with DBs. But anyway, that's it. Florida man probably should let you guys do some work now. I got some rock files to get caught up on.
Appreciate you calling in, Keith.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys take care, man. Thank you so much, guys. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, we got one more caller, man. He was so patient. He's been waiting that whole time.
Jeffrey, I think you're muted.
916, you're live.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, gotcha.
Who we got here?
My name is Bo. I'm out here in California, so first-time caller, somewhat long-time listener, I guess.
All right.
Welcome to the show, Bo.
Thank you. I wanted to ask. Keith kind of stole my thunder there a little bit, but good answer. So I guess not stealing my thunder. But I just wanted to clarify too with Sledge's teammate. I figured obviously they might have seen him last year on some film since they liked Aniche, but just a sign at all, I guess, that we're falling with some of the other offensive tackles, or just adding to the pool of potential linemen. I know we're looking into bringing a lot this class. And then second question was just if you guys could talk about receivers more so, like outside bigger receivers. I know we've mentioned Poole and English. I can't remember how tall he is, but yeah.
Yeah, on your first question, Bo, I don't think so. I don't think they're falling with any offensive tackle prospects that we know of right now. Stanton Ramil was one that was quiet for a minute there, but now he'll be back on campus tomorrow. So that's a big development. I think, they've had a board. Coach Will Friend has had a board for a while and some names there that he was sort of, I'm going to circle back and see what happens here with these guys, right? And I think Lance Hurd was one of them. Jeffrey, I can't hear you. I think you might be muted or something there. On your second question there, Bo, receivers, Nakai Poole. Carmelo English is a little bit under 6 feet, I believe, but still probably being recruited as just kind of an all-around receiver, just because he's a good route runner and has good speed, things like that, good hands. So, that's probably one of the top targets right now, regardless of slot or outside, Carmelo English, and they want him in the class very soon. So we're still learning a lot about the receiver position. Nakai Poole is another one. Santana Fleming, we talked about the other day, from South Florida, is another one too. So.
And then the Seymour kid that's committed to Miami, definitely a big target there. And I believe we're going to get him in for an OV. I think, tentatively speaking, he may be coming in to officially visit towards the end of the month, the 24th, I think. So watch out for that weekend with him. And I think he's somebody that Ike Hilliard is kind of zeroed in on, and somebody we could potentially make a move with.
Well, you want a low key guy like we were talking about, under the radar. Lamar Seymour is one of the strangest low key guys I've seen, because he's committed to Miami, right? But his rating's kind of low right now. But I promise you, the staff thinks he can play. They like him. They brought him in on the spring, and they're continuing to recruit him and think he's going to come in an OV. So, yeah, those are some names for you.
Appreciate it, guys. And I'm not on the On3 boards yet, but on Twitter and social media, I'm Bo Tiger 4.
Hey, Bo, $1, my friend, $1. Come join.
Hey, you know what? It's definitely cheaper than multiple gallons of gas. So
get them, Bo.
In California, you got it.
Jeffrey Lee, we can hear you now, baby.
All right.
I can walk anywhere and listen to On 3. I just can't drive anywhere, right?
There you go. You're right about that.
Better reason to join the site.
Thank you for the
you, guys.
call, bro. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Good stuff.
We got one more caller here. 706. You're live.
Atlanta, maybe?
Hello?
Hey, we got you. What's up?
Hello?
Hey, we can hear
Hello.
you. What's your name?
What is your name and where are you
Can y'all
from?
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, fellas. My name is Wes, and
What's up,
I'm
Wes?
from LaGrange, Georgia. And I
Nice.
just wanted to call in and say how much I love y'all. I
Really?
listen to y'all every
I
chance
appreciate you,
I
Wes.
drive to
Hey,
work.
we love you too, Wes.
And if y'all talked all day, I would sit here and listen to y'all. I
Really?
went to Callaway High School up the road.
Well,
Just
you
wanted
might be
to
the
say
only
I
one.
appreciate y'all giving some good content. Just wanted to
Absolutely.
drop some little love in here tonight. So y'all keep
Hey,
talking about
Wes.
football. I just wanted to let y'all know that.
Hey, Wes, I got a question for you, man.
Hit me.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
You're good.
Wes,
Yeah.
I got a question for you, man.
Yeah. Hit me.
Who's got
What
the
you
best barbecue in LaGrange? Who's got the best barbecue in LaGrange?
Country's barbecue.
Man, come on, Wes.
And whoever says Rogers barbecue, you can kiss my ass.
All right. Keontae,
Wait a minute.
what's Keontae? Hey, what about Hog Wild or Hog Heaven?
Hog Heaven? No.
Yeah. They got the best sauce, though.
Country's runs LaGrange, fellas.
Man.
If y'all
Hog
ever
Heaven got the best sauce.
Country's where you need to go. And
Jeffrey,
let me know.
all
I'll
right.
come eat with you. I'll buy you lunch.
Tony Fair agrees with you, brother.
Jeffrey, I know what you were looking for. Country's wasn't it, was it?
No.
Y'all didn't like the
I love countries, just don't think it's the best barbecue, man.
I think he was driving and dropped out, but if he calls back, I'll get him on the call line.
Yeah, Jeffrey was looking for one of them local spots, but he got he got a chain.
I know it. What's the best hamburger? McDonald's. That McDonald's down there on. Okay, Trey, man, he asked this question earlier, man, and we started it and stopped it. And I don't, Jhead, do you know who the 4-star who decommitted from Clemson is?
I do.
I
I
don't.
got it coming up.
Yeah,
It's Nathaniel Joseph, wide receiver from
Okay.
South Florida. I don't have any intel there that's
I don't know,
saying
man.
that that's somebody that we're pursuing at this point. He's primarily a slot receiver. And what I would say is that the intel that you just heard Florida man / Keith Newber on, we're looking for outside wide receivers right now. That's kind of the primary focus of this staff, is to find some outside wide receivers. I think if we do take a slot, we're probably leaning Kypreen as of today.
Yeah.
So I don't exactly know where this young man sits on the board, but I haven't heard anything to make me seem, and maybe Jay Lee's heard differently, that we're pursuing him.
Yeah, I don't think he's a guy that they will go for. He's a smaller guy,
No.
5'8", 170, somewhere in that range. So yeah, probably not a guy they'll go for if I had to guess. Any update on Shandavian Bradley or progress on an OV?
No.
I got no news on Bradley. Haven't heard from him in a while. We'll check back with him, but at last it sounds like maybe Tennessee is a trending team there.
Yeah. Tennessee Clemson is the last I heard as far as competition for his commitment, with Tennessee probably having the leg up as of today.
Yeah, and Auburn's got a ton of edge prospects right now. You got Reuben Bain and Keldrick Faulk that were just on campus. There's some others that elude my mind right now. Jhead, you probably know. But Bradley, he hasn't come up so much lately. So I would think that they're focusing on others right now. Yep.
Quay Russaw obviously is going to be a big target for us from that standpoint. We just had a big target on campus today, and Wilkie denied.
Yes, Wilkie denied.
who's somebody that I think probably grows into a 6-tech end. It's just kind of what I see with his frame, but somebody that would definitely start out at edge for us.
Yeah.
And somebody that I think Rock Bellatoni is very high on as far as that's concerned. But definitely multiple targets.
On Wilkie Denard, Jhead, Keith Niebuhr had a great in his introductory introductory story with us at On 3, Auburn Live on 3. He had a great little note on Wilkie Denard that Auburn was, quietly moving up the board for him, and he visits today and says he will be back and working on an OV. So yeah, good job getting out in front of that one.
100% by Keith. And then obviously you guys broke the news on it today. Gabriel Harris is also going to be on campus.
Yes.
Big edge target from Valdosta, Georgia, who's currently committed to UGA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the chances are of flipping him as of today, but if he's coming in for an official visit, that means he's interested.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, did y'all say Shandavian Bradley committed to South Carolina?
No, he committed to South Carolina?
Did
he did that last night.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
Nope, I was trying to say shit, but my damn, I don't know what's going on over here. JP, hey JP, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go hit Auburn Live on 3 front page, and I want you to hit that recruiting chat. There's a lot of guys we got listed in that thread about the Big Cat visitors, and we're mostly just guessing on guys that we think is going to be there. But well, I've got a list started there. Encourage you to go check that out. I know you're a member of the site. Go look at it, dude. Thomas Jones, while wait for offering players, while offering scholarships, if you like a prospect, go ahead and let him know what you want. Your guys' thoughts. I wish it was that easy, man. I don't know. It's not.
I think sometimes you're probably wondering, you're trying not to disturb your board. Obviously they rack guys and they rank guys. And when guys become available or they pop at a camp like a JC Hart, what you don't want it to do is affect the recruitment of somebody else. And they think that you're deviating attention away from them. So you have to be very cautious about who you're offering, when you're offering, the timing of everything, and then to make sure that they are 100% a take. Because if you offer a kid like JC Hart, you better be ready to take him.
That's
you know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is offer a kid and be like, we're waiting on somebody else.
Especially a local kid.
Yep.
If that's who he was applying. Man, I've seen it happen before. The local people will eat your ass up.
I will say that they are offering more this year than they were last year. I think they're, I think they held back on a few guys a little too late last year. We talked about that, but they seem to have jumped in the recruitments of a few more guys this year.
Blake Pipkin, who are we leaning to as far as receiver targets? Touched on this a little bit in the recruiting chat. Outside guy, I found that last night, man. I didn't see it coming. Carmelo English is listed at 5'11", 6 feet tall, but Auburn's recruiting him to play outside. I think he is I guess he's leaning to Auburn. I don't know. And then Kai Preen, I think Jay had mentioned him earlier as a slot guy. I think both of those guys would probably be in my mock-up class if I were to make one right now.
Yep.
So those two receiver guys. And then we've mentioned Keith mentioned Nakai Poole last night. We're going to probably official visit. He's from Norcross in Georgia. And then there's some 5-star Jalen Brown. He's not coming here. And then Lamar Seymour, who potentially could visit this weekend, Miami commitment. Michael Pugh, any relation to Ryan? Michael, for Coach Pink, Keith, there's Mike, 5590 on the board. Who do you think will the most influential NFL potential and talent on our board that we have a real shot for? Dude, I can't read, man. my mind's about as good as my internet right now. Take it away, Cole.
Michael. Quay Rusall comes to mind first. I think Auburn still has a realistic shot for him. He's going to eventually visit, so that would be my pick. Quay Rusall probably has the most potential. He's got the best frame. He's the guy you want at edge, right? Anybody else that comes to mind? Probably, man.
Keldrick
Falk, Josh Horton, man.
Yeah.
Josh Horton is rated as a 3-star guy on 3, but every time we see him, we're like, golly, has he gotten bigger? He's got that barrel chest, he's got the long arms. Jimmy Brumbaugh kept saying, he's a guy that sort of resembles somebody that played for the Eagles. I mean, he's an NFL looking guy, right? Really, all the Langston Hughes guys are that way.
Yeah.
Bo Hughley, Jelani Thurman is freakish, so. Yeah, those guys come to mind.
I see a lot of Spencer Johnson in him. When I watch Josh Horton play, that's who he reminds me of is a little bit of Spencer Johnson from down my way from back in the day, and somebody that Jeffrey Lee would 100% remember. I think he covered him in his heyday. So, Spencer Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
But that's who
Josh wasn't he?
Do what?
He was 53.
Yeah. And I'm almost positive that's his number from Chickasaw down here. I think it's exactly where he was from.
Sure was. Courtney Harden neighborhood as well, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right about that. I forgot about him, man.
Courtney Harden. Wow. Yeah. That's a throwback.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I was answering the question.
Do you guys think Clemson is shooting themselves in the foot, telling their verbal commits that they can't go on any more visits, official or non-official?
Heck no. It's been working for about 10 years now. Seems to be working pretty damn good.
So I went into a post on this on the board, and people need to understand this. When teams have leverage, they're going to use it, okay? Right now, Auburn's not a team that has a ton of leverage, you know what I mean, on the recruiting landscape. Clemson is a team that has continuously put up double-digit victory seasons for the last, 6 years running, played for won 2 national championships, played for 3, and they put guys in the NFL. It's just where we stand right now. It doesn't mean that it will always be that way, but as of today, no, they're not shooting themselves in the foot. They're just doing what they need to do, and it's something that Auburn has done as well. You know what I mean? It's not like this is beyond us to tell a kid they can't go OB somewhere. We've done that too. We're just not able to do it as predominantly right now.
Yeah. I haven't had the time. Chase Woods right here. I haven't had the time to watch film, but I hear all this talk about Pritchett. And unfortunately, all I can remember is the Georgia game last year. I was there. Is he a surefire starter or Simpson and James? That's a good question, Chase. Pritchett got moved. You know, after that Georgia game, he struggled a little bit. He got moved to that slot corner where he was matching up with bigger guys and not so much on the outside guys. I think he redeemed himself a little bit. He started to show out a little bit more as the end of the year came, starting to get on some draft boards here in the offseason. I think Pritchett's ready to go. I really think it's just going to be a really a strong rotation between those three. What do you think, Jhead?
I'm of the same opinion. I think they're going to probably try to keep guys fresh, and they're going to rotate. I feel like DJ James is going to be used in a multitude of ways. I think he's even going to get snaps at nickel to spare Donovan Kaufman at times, contingent on the team that we're playing. So when you're playing like a Mississippi State, you don't have that mismatch in the slot. Yeah. So I think there's a large likelihood that it doesn't really matter who's the starter, that you're going to see a heavy rotation of the three. And then you're just hoping that you can replace the production that Roger McCreary left. You know, I mean, that's a big hole for us. I think we've got some guys that are capable of filling it. Yeah. And in addition to those guys, obviously we've got a JUCO All-American that's on his way in that I think Lee talked about today or the other day. He's a surefire thing to hopefully report in July.
Yeah, definitely. Don't forget about Keontae Scott.
Am I still coming in?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Got some
buzz going on. Matt Slovic. Tell me I'm not pronouncing that right, Big Matt. Are we recruiting any wide receivers taller than 5'11"? Nakai Poole comes to mind. He's 6'3". Kai Prain's 6 foot. Carmelo's probably 6 foot with cleats on. Not that I know of, Matt. Jhead?
Seymour's 6 foot. But those are the guys that I've heard the most of right now. And wide receiver is a position where you can kind of evaluate through the year. I mean, there are a lot of wide receivers. So don't be surprised if we get on somebody late in the process that's 6+.
Yeah. I would agree.
Hey, so where you Stables? Saw on board today that Poole was 6'3", yes, but was in fact 6 foot. Okay. I don't know. Is there any truth to that? Does that matter to the staff? I guess Bo Tigers called in. 916. Oh, that's Bo, California. Bo, California.
Not sure on Poole. I'm not sure what his official size is. Jeffrey said, that guy's kind of hard to get up with, and we haven't talked to him too much. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if obviously you got a guy like Carmelo English that they like at the outside receiver, and he's not a super tall guy. So I think it just depends on your playing style when it comes to that, and you need to be in the right range. And as long as you're not, 5'9" below, I think that would be fine.
Nakai Poole's listed at 6'3" on both 24/7 and on 3. I can't imagine both of those sites being that far off. 3 inches off. 3 inches is a long way. If anything, he's 6'2" with cleats on.
I agree, Jeffrey. And he was here for an unofficial visit back during March. So if there was an issue with his size or there was that big of a discrepancy, I think you probably would have heard about it, Jeffrey.
Right. I'm good with that. Caleb Chandler, this is a good question right here. I was up in Rabun County this past week, up at Lake Seed. This is home of Gunnar Stockton's hometown, Rabun County. When Arch Manning commits to Georgia, not happening. Now he will that I said that. Gunnar Stockton enters the portal. Should Auburn pursue him? I don't know. Depends on how if is there a need?
Right. I mean, I think they're happy with holding Gardner. Now that doesn't mean that they couldn't want to pursue an additional quarterback. And I think it really depends on what happens with Brock Glenn in this class.
Yeah, I was going to say that. A couple of people asked on our chat last night, if Brock Glenn for some reason goes elsewhere, what's the next move? And do they bring in a quarterback in the 2022 class? And I don't think they will. I think they would probably go to the portal, right? Or wait for 24.
I actually think they will. I think they want a younger quarterback contingent on how Calzada develops. I don't think they want to continuously go to the portal. Now they could if a guy's there that they really like. But I think they'd like to bring in a young quarterback to develop. I think you could probably see them make a move on a guy who's the kid that's committed to Florida State right now, Cole, that seems to be shopping around.
Can't think of his name right now.
But there are other quarterback targets out there. My guess is we would take a pause. We would evaluate, see who's committed to who. Maybe we extend an offer to a guy that's committed to a G5 or a lower tier Power 5 that really is having a really good senior season. But I do see us trying to take a high school quarterback if at all possible.
Chris Parson, by the way.
Chris Parson, that's it.
There is a guy from he claims an Auburn offer. He's got a bunch of G5 offers. He looks like he's in the mold of a Brock Glenn. And he was a guy I came up with last night as a potential backup for Brock Glenn should he go elsewhere. Stephen Miller, what do you think is Jamal Jarrett's big announcement? Probably a top group. Yeah. Hopefully something less than top 12 or something. I hope he's got a top 5.
I think he's already narrowed it down to 5. He has actually narrowed it down to 5. So
he has not.
He has. I did a story on him narrowing it down to top 5. So
maybe he's going to commit. No, I don't think he's going to commit.
I don't think so.
Oh, hell shit. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like it's probably a top 3. Auburn, Georgia, North Carolina is probably what you're looking at. Or it's an Under Armour All-American game or an Adidas All-American game. That this is the time of year that you get those kind of announcements.
Yeah, for sure.
Are we caught up yet? Joseph Ballard, man. Center is one of the positions that worries me. Man, you've got Braden Joyner committed, and you've got Connor Lew coming in. Got a lot of interior guys. To me, center is locked up. Am I wrong in assuming that?
No, and that's actually why I think Connor Lew is going to end up at Clemson because Braden Joyner is already in the class. I find it hard for me. It's not that Auburn wouldn't take Connor Lew. I think they 100% would. But when Lew's looking at it and how pivotal Braden Joyner is to this class, he's not going anywhere. And I just see he's going to see himself as a redundant piece. So I think we're fine at center. And you also are recruiting a guy in Raquez McElderry who could play center in a pinch. Mm-hmm. So I think we're fine there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Realistic plan at linebacker with Jhead training to Notre Dame. Auburn wants to get 2 of Jaden Osbury, C.J. Allen, Lewis Carter, Phil Picciotti.
Yes.
Jeremiah
Tellender. What was the other guy from Gainesville, Georgia? Jeremiah Tellender. Get 2 of those 5.
Yep. Sounds
Get 2 of
about
those
right.
5.
And
Chase Woods back. I think Gerner is the truth. My girlfriend's family pictures, so we don't believe you, Chase. BC alums, where we went to high school, caught a few games. Kid is good. I watched Ron when he was in high school. I tell you what, man, I think we all like Gerner. I loved it. Even when he was a 3-star kid last year before I was up at Rivals, and I was telling JG and them, I was like, this, I don't know my evals. I don't claim to be a professional evaluator, but I can look at a quarterback and know if he's pretty good or not. So
Yeah.
I agree with you, Chase. And DM me those photos. Hey, and Young Elephant, I completely agree with you, dude. I get so tired of the big announcement just being another top, whatever 40. Dude, in the spring it was awful. They were releasing top 15s, and I was like, whatever. Oh man. Philip Coleman, any word on AJ Terrell's brother? I think he committed to Clemson last week.
100%. Avion Terrell is with Clemson. I don't expect that change.
Yep. Clemson all the way.
I think we're called up, man. Austin. Austin wants a little rough draft on the. All right, Chase.
Yeah, right.
Jay Lee, could we get a rough draft on the? Man, I tell you what, I had to take my hat off. My blood pressure's up right now. My blood pressure's up right now. I'm serious. I can't take this. I pay like
Jay Lee,
$39 a month. yeah, I know it.
I feel you, man.
I was hollering at Brooks to turn off the damn Fortnite upstairs.
I tell you what, man, I'm gonna get you an early Father's Day present. I'm gonna send you an Ethernet cord so you can plug directly into your box. You'll be good to go, man.
I'm still going strong over here. No internet issues yet. Knock on wood.
There you go.
Cold out in the damn country, got better internet than we do.
I'm telling you.
Hey, great show tonight, guys. Listen, we appreciate everything, man. I think the show just keeps growing and growing. We've got a lot more interest, and it just keeps getting better. The questions are awesome. We appreciate all the guys that came in tonight. JP, Sam, Corey, Philip Coleman, Kelsey from Piedmont, Bo from California, Wes from LaGrange, even though he don't have a damn lick of sense when it comes to barbecue, but we still do appreciate you, Wes, and everybody else who came in with a comment or a question. Even Florida Man came in.
Oh yeah,
so we appreciate that. Chase, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on my DMs, and other than that, hey man, we appreciate everybody. Y'all check us out on Thursday for the Shrivel Pod. We'll have a show up Thursday afternoon for that big weekend coming up. We'll have that all previewed for you on that show. For Jhead, for Cole, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. We appreciate everybody. See you.